Welcome to the core part of the data science where we look into some graphics, etc. So how we can take this up in R. So the graphs creation was with the support of graph was it can be taken up with a function called as plot. So here we have two vectors. Vector 1 was 1, 2, 3. There is another vector with 1, 2, 4. So now we can assume it is 1, 1, 2, 2 and 3, 4. So at 1, 1 there was a dot, 2, 2 there was a dot, and 3, 4 there was another dot here. Okay. So a plot function, it is going to be one of a way to point out the graphs in R language. So the help also can be found from r-project.org. A wonderful colorful graphs can be taken up, and the foundation towards graphs in R language will happen only with a function called as plot. Now assume that we are building a plot that is with -3 to 3 in one axis and -1 to 5 in another axis we need to mention, and type is equals to n. Similarly, type is equals to L, type H is equal to. So if we are going to call it as L, it draws up a line. If it is H, it draws up a histogram. If it is S, type is equals to S, it draws up a staircase. In this way, graphs are going to have its own way of representation. Now you are going to get this dotted line here. So X LAB and Y LAB. So Y label, X label. So we give this as Y and we give this as X. So here you can see Y and X here. So that's how we are putting up the content. So type of a graph, whether it is a dotted graph, whether it is a histogram, whether it is a line, we are going to mention it up. So we are in this model. Now we can see that C, it is going to be 1, 1 followed by 2, 3, and it is 3, 8. So this position we call it as 3, 8. The other position we call it as 2, 3, and the first dot we are calling as 1. Now in between these items, we need to draw a line. We want to draw a line. So how can I draw it? I can draw it when I am applying linear regression. When we are going to apply a linear regression, then we are going to draw up the line. So linear regression, we call it as linear model here. So linear model, it takes up slope and it gives up the values with intercept. So where the line is going to be fitted, so that the slope and intercept positions are going to be taken with a function called as LM. So now we are going to say plot of x comma y and followed by a linear model between the 2 points y and x. So y we are going to call it as a dependent variable, and x it is going to be an independent variable. So x we call it as an independent variable and y we will call it as a dependent variable. Now we meant with a linear regression function, and the last step was to build up a line. So to build up the line, we are going to use AB line. So when we are going to use a AB line function, we will be getting a line in between the points. We will be getting a line in between the points. Now here is one interesting area. So we are going to say there was a vector with a density with some test scores and exam 1 ranging from 0 to 100, and another D2, it is a density function representing this is exam 1 and exam 2 from 0 to 100. And that now we are going to mention plot D1, and with main we have not mentioned it, and X label we have not mentioned it. So no X label, no main heading, right? Why this is done? This is done because plot D main is equals to nothing, X label is equals to nothing, you mentioned. So there is no value to show, no value to show. So that's the reason why that was ignored. And now we are going to put up a line. So we get the lines for the density functions. We get the lines for the density functions. Now, let us see adding a point with a point function. So up to now, we talked about plotting, then we talked about lines. So line is a function here, okay? So we get G1 and we get D2. So with a line function, okay? With the line function, we are able to draw it out. Next one, we will be working with the point function. So this is where we are going to set up a point. We can add a point in the graph. We can add a point in the graph. For that, we are going to use up this point function. Similarly, I want to give a position, that is some exam 1, exam 2. I want to mention it. So I can add a legend. I can add a legend, and for that we use a legend function. We use a legend function, right? So legend function, it is telling what is exam 1, what is exam 2. We want to describe the line. So for that we are going to use the legend function. So now here is a thing that the text exam 1, the text exam 1 should come at 46.7 and 0.02. So that's how you are putting it. So it is some y-axis, and it is around some 47. So this is 0.02. So exam 1 must be placed at 46.7 and 0.02. This is y and x. So for that we are going to describe it with text. For that we are going to use a function called as text. Similarly, I want to place exam 2. So exam 2, it can be placed at a position called as some 12.3. So this is 12.3 and 0.008. So this is y position, x position. So that's how we are putting the content. So where was this exam to be placed? So we are using this text function to display that content. Next one, we can set up parameters where background color, BG stands for background color. So background color we are setting with yellow, or we can put it some hexadecimal. In this there are different models. And next one was character. It can be plus, it can be bubble, it can be percentage, it can be hash. So what type of character you want to interpret? So that's, we call it as PCH. In this way we are going to mention it. So we don't know about parameter what it is, so you are going to call the help function, that is help with PAR. Next one was, I want to know the coordinated X and Y coordinates on the click. That means I will hit my cursor at some position on the graph. The position where there was a hit operation from my cursor, the position should be displayed. Okay. So we will place the cursor on the graph or the screen. Then the exact X comma Y coordinate value must appear. So how it is possible? It is nothing but pinpointing of locations. It is possible with locator function. It is going to point out with locator function. So we are going to say with a locator, then we get it x-axis, and then we are going to get the y-axis where the mouse click went or placed. So that's how we are going to put up this event. Fine. Another one was, the drawback here was there was no undo command in R. But still, we can rectify the this when we are going to use a replay function. So that concept we call it as restoring a plot. So when we are going to use a restoring plot, the objective was, as there was no undo function when towards applying a graph. So we want to restore to the previous position. So we are first saving the graph, and thereby we can say it as replay plot. So that's how we take up in restoring of a graph here. So let us understand the code here. So we are working on a density as a function, test scores with exam marks 1, exam marks 2. From we are going to get it a minimum value. 200 we are going to record it as a maximum value. Main, it is giving up the title. Xlab, it is defining the X label value. And then we need to print up the lines here. And when I am going to call it as 46.7 over 0.02 and exam 1, we are assuming that we will assume that exam 1 must appear at x is equals to 46.7 and y is equals to 0.02. In this way, we are going to interpret, and finally, we are going to save the plot. We are going to save the plot, so that we call it as some example.r. So that's how we are going to save the plot. Now, when we are working with graphs, we work with some type of symbols. We work with some type of symbols. Assume we have drawn a line, and this is like this. Now, I want to increment the symbol size. I want to increment the symbol. Then I can say it is character sizes, CEX, character expand. Expand, C stands for character, 5.4. So now you can get a very, very big size. Okay. So this was 1.5, and now this is 1.4 size. So that's how this CEX character expand function is going to work out. So I have a position called as 2.5 and 4. At that, I want to make a dot. I want to put some content. So that will be displayed with a size there. Now, another interesting topic was, in a plot, we need to give range. We need to give up a limit. So when we call it as 0, it is a minimum value. 90,000, it is a maximum value. So y-axis minimum was 0, y-axis maximum was 90,000. In this way, we are going to specify the axes, etc. So now let us consolidate the items here. Now C is from 0 to 100, that is x-axis. C of 0 to 100. C of 0 to 0.03. So we are declaring the y-axis 0 to 0.03. Next, type is equals to n. So how the line to appear? So if it is n, then it is line. If it is h, it is histogram, etc. Now, label YLAB is called as Y label. So Y label, it should be called as density. So now we have to drawing the lines for D1 and D2. So we get this answer, D1 and D2. So where do we get this D1 and D2? So D1, we were mentioning it is a density function and it is a composition of some test scores with some exam 1 ranging from 0 to 100. Similarly, D2, it is a density function with some test scores, of some exam 2 ranging from 0 to 100. So this we are going to put it into the line. We need to use these aspects here. So that's the reason why we are going to get this line D2 and line D1. So we get this values as D2 and we get this values as D1. Now, another interesting aspect in the plot function towards graphics in R is the usage of an attribute size, an arbitrary shape called as a polygon. So any type of shape can be composed out from this polygon. So we can draw a arbitrary. So when we are going to say it is arbitrary, then we can say it can be drawn up any shape. It can be drawn up as an abstract way and any shape can be taken up. Now let us see the function, that is f of x is equals to some 1 minus e power minus x. So now how I can draw up a function? So f of x we are going to get and 1 minus e power minus x. So we get this in this form. Now I need to have a curve. And curve it is going to range up with function 1 minus e power minus x between 0 to 2. This is taken up with curve. It is taken up with curve with a function of 0, 2 and f. What is f here? F is equals to 1 minus e power minus x. So we get the minimum value as 0 and then we are going to get the maximum value as 2 here. Minimum value as 0 and maximum value as 2 here. Next was, we draw a arbitrary shape. We have to draw a arbitrary shape. So how we are going to draw the arbitrary shape? We are going to draw the arbitrary shape with 1.2, 1.4, 1.4 and 1.2. So now we need to mention up a rectangle. So this position we are going to call it as 1.4. This is again 1.4. Next, okay, I just made a mistake. So we are going to use this positions like this. So this is 1.4 we addressed. Another also 1.4 coordinate. Next 1.2 this we addressed and another 1.2. Now the color is equals to gray. So color is equals to gray we are going to mention up. So color is equals to gray we are going to mention up. and that's how we are drawing up a polygon. That is how we are going to draw up a polygon, and there we are going to get the inputs as 0, 0, f, which range from 1.3, and f with 1.3, we are going to get these values here. So some data need to be smoothed up, some data should be it will be smooth. That is, we need some loss G function, we need some lossless function. So if we decompose the data, we need to reduce the data. So for that, lowest is a function where we are going to apply the smoothing operation. Next one, how we can mingle up with a plot function, a curve function, so that we can draw the graph explicitly between the points. We need to draw the line between the points. So this was the primary aim of taking up this project. Now, how we are going to draw the things here? So for that, we are going to use a function. Function is equals to t, and that it is represented with t power 2 plus 1, t power 2 plus 1 and whole power 5. So how we can look into this area? So the minimum value, we are going to get it from 0, and maximum value, we are printing it out. So it is a sequence operation. We call it as a sequence function, which should range, we should get 5 items from 10,000. So that's the length. Now we are going to get these values with 0.0004, 0.0008, 0.0012. In this way, we are going to get the phi function. So we computed x here. G, we made a function here. G was a function. Yes, it is going to be a sequence operation with the minimum value of 0, maximum value of 5, and which is stretching up to 10,000. And obviously, we should choose 5 entities. We have chosen 4, 8, 12, etc. Now, let us compute the value y. So, y we are going to say g of x. So, x it is between a sequence function between 0 to 5 and some length of 10,000, etc. We are deriving it. Now, we computed x. Now, we computed x. We computed y. Now, the vectors are ready. The x vector is ready. The y vector is ready. So, in the x vector, we are going to have 0.004, and in the y vector, we are going to have it as 0. With g of 0.004. So y vector is ready, x vector is ready. Only thing is we have to go with plotting. So how we can go with plot? Plot x comma y and type is equals to L. L stands for line graph. L stands for line graph. Type is equals to L. So L stands for line graph. So x vector is ready, y vector is ready. Between x and y, we need to plot the data. Okay, how we can formulate the graph? How we can formulate the graph? We have an explicit function. What was that explicit function? That is x power 2 plus 1 power 0.5. So this was the function what we need to consider. It is already predefined. So we are going to have a function as follows, and that function we need to represent it in a graphical way. So how we are going to choose it up? So we can choose with x power 2 plus 1 and power 0.5. So this is a function, you can assume it with it is going to return the value x power 2 plus 1 power 0.5. So what are the function parameters? What will be the function parameters? One, it is the function value, that is function of x, and it is going to be written of x power 2 plus 1 and power of 0.5. So that's how we are going to take up, and this is plot with minimum 0 and maximum 5 values. So this is what we are going to put up into the graph. So between 0 to 5, the length was 10,000. So these entries are going to be posted. Between 0 to 5, these entries are going to be posted. Fine. After that, graph is done, graph we have generated, and how can we save the graph? That was an interesting. So how can we save the graph? Yeah, we can save it in PNG model, portable network graphic, or we can save it in Java Pictures Expert Group, or we can go with PDF file. So how we post document file? So how we are looking in this model? So if such is the case, we can put it in post document file PDF. So we can save it with file name, that is D12, and file extension. What was the extension? It is .post document file. So we need to sync with the device. So DEV stands for device on, device off. We need to sync with the device, that is the default device system on the screen. So we should see that if you want to save this in another file, you must set up another file. So for that, we are going to use a device with CUR. And of course, this is the content to be displayed. So now when we are going to open the file, we will be getting this d12.pdf and the content inside that file. Now, okay, now we want to exit from that command. We want to move out from that command. So for that, first we are going to set up the graph. Next we are going to include to which function it is going to applicable. It is applicable to a PDF file, and the other thing was, you can see DEV is equals to off. That means device off. The other device off. The other synced event, that is the second device, is going to be closed. So for that, we are going to use this as a DEV off. After two-dimensional content, there is one more interesting factor. This looks will be the three-dimensional way, the 3D plotting. There we will be getting the lattice, etc. So there we will be getting the lattice, etc. So to print up this lattice, we will be using a wireframe function. We will be using a wireframe function, so that we are going to use a scatter plot in three-dimensional model. So as we are mentioning it three-dimensional model, we need to consider X, Y, and Z axis. We need to consider X, Y, Z axis here. So now in our language, we need to include the packages. So how we can include the packages was, we can call up with the libraries. So we can call up the library lattice. This is especially used for 3D graphics. Now assume A is a vector which is assigned with a value 1 to 10. B is a vector which is assigned with value from 1 to 15, and EG, so as a variable name, which it is going to assign with a grid. And now X is called as A and Y is called as B. We assigned A and B to X and Y. Then we are expecting a grid format. We are going to expecting a grid format, or we are expecting a lattice format. So how a lattice has to be visualized? So lattice has to be visualized with a function called as Z is equals to some x power 2, that is x square plus x plus y. So it is going to be a function of x square plus x plus y, and thereby it is applied with a linear model, and thereby it is applied with a linear regression, and there it is between z and x plus y. Z, it is going to be a dependent variable, and x and y, they are called as independent variables. X and y, they are called as independent variables. So how I am going to get this x? It is with multiple lines. It is with multiple lines I am going to get. That means multiple slopes and multiple intercepts. Multiple slopes, and we will be getting with multiple intercepts. So that's how we are going to get this in a 3D model. We are going to get the data in a 3D model. So we get this as z-axis, one we are going to call it as x-axis, and other we are going to assume this one as the y-axis. So how we will be getting this was, we will be using a wire frame. We are going to use a wireframe function. So first we will create a grid, and after creating a grid, we are going to include it to a wireframe function. First we are going to create a grid, and thereby we are going to include it to a wireframe function. So the three-dimensional was to take up the things up in a scatter plot, and we are going to use a linear regression model so that we drop the lines and link up the lines together to form a lattice. So it is wireframe model. It is going to give up the regression model with z, and z, it is composition of x plus y here. So we will be getting a pair, and that space they are going to form up the rectangle grid. So that's how a wireframe is going to occur. So this is all from the graphics in R. So a quick recap of what we learned. Was we were talking about creating of a graph. So creating of a graph will be a major role from graph itself. The next level was to move to a bar charts, pie charts, histograms, etc. So using a graph, using a plot graph, then we will have to move to the next stage. So plot function is the foundation for graphs in R language. So if such is a case is going to happen, the enough literature was available in r.prozaic.com. So plotting, it takes up again a linear algebra model where it is with 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 4. The dots are going to be printed out over a graph. So graphs, they are going to be a two-dimensional way, and we can insert a line with a linear model. Ln stands for a linear model using a function called as AB line between the dots. So similarly, the lines need not be in a straight line. It can be of an arbitrary shape. So for that, we are going to use with a density function. So density function, it is taking up a minimum value, it is taking up a maximum value, and thereby it is going to drop the lines towards the functions. So some supporting content towards while drawing the graph will be a legend where they can be describing the graph line, what it is showing. Exam 1 and exam 2 are two graph lines. So to identify which was exam 1, to identify which was exam 2, we need to give up a legend there. Next one was, in order to get some help, we can give up the quick help with the help of PAR, etc. Similarly, exam 1 and exam 2, they are displayed on the graph spontaneously. To position those content at location, we can give up with x is equals to some 12.3 and y is equals to 0.08, then exam 2 will be displayed at that specific position, So now randomly when I click something on a graph, the exact location of x-axis, the exact location of y-axis is going to be pulled up. So that is where we are going to have with a locator function. So there is no undo operation. So we have to save the file. From that, we have to go back. So CEX, it is going to increment the size of the variable, and CX is incrementing the size of a variable, and the graph type, it can be N, it can be L, it can be a H. H stands for a histogram. So when we are going to use a polygon, it can be of arbitrary shape. So it takes up a rectangle here, you can show in this graph, and the color can be assigned to that rectangle. So explicitly also we can draw up a function, and thereby we can assign the values. Similarly, we can save the values in the graphics and graphics, and yeah. Similarly, we can have a graphics function. So in graphics function, we can include a three-dimensional graph that it is with a lattice, etc. Thank you. This is how we are going to conclude this graph.